They want the Texas GOP chair jailed. It's January 9th, 2025, and these are your headlines. Can you believe it? Well, the Republican Party of Texas has issued a sharp rebuttal to State Representative Cody Harris, who yesterday, it was revealed, filed a sworn complaint with the Texas Ethics Commission, accusing the Republican chairman, Abraham George, of violating ethics laws by urging Cody Harris to vote for the Republican nominee for Speaker of the House. Now, the statement from the Texas GOP indicates that George could be facing imprisonment under Harris's complaint. It was filed on January 8th and claims that George attempted to intimidate Republican members of the Texas House into supporting Representative David Cook, who of course won the Republican nomination back in December. According to Harris's complaint, George threatened to send mail to lawmakers' districts if they didn't support Cook's speakership bid, and that they may be removed from the Republican primary ballot for not supporting the Republican speaker candidate. Harris says this tactic is unlawful intimidation to influence legislators' votes for speaker. He called it bribery. Well, in a press release issued shortly after the complaint became public, the Texas GOP labeled Harris's actions as baseless and an attack on grassroots conservatives. The party's statement defended George's conduct, arguing that advocating for adherence to the party's rules and legislative priorities is both lawful and constitutionally protected. George also criticized Harris for not attending the 2024 Republican convention, suggesting that maybe his lack of understanding of how the party and grassroots work helped fuel the complaint. Indeed, the Republican Party platform, as well as the rules of the House Republican Caucus, stipulate that members need to support the Republican nominee for Speaker. Despite losing that vote last month, Representative Dustin Burrows has joined with Democrats and a minority of Republicans, including Cody Harris, to attempt to take the gavel next week when the legislature convenes. Well, in an interview with Mark Davis this morning, Representative Harris defended his decision to support Burrows despite the caucus vote, using, what else? Semantics. I kid you not. He said, well, the rules say you should support the Republican nominee, not that you shall. Is there a difference? Well, Representative Harris might be finding trouble soon. He already has a possible primary challenger in his district, as Corsicana City Councilman Chris Woolsey filed a treasurer appointment ahead of a potential run. And Dustin Burrows, the state representative who's currently attempting to execute that Democrat-powered bid for Speaker, may have some trouble of his own at home. A new poll commissioned by Texans United for a conservative majority shows Burrows is underwater with Republican voters in his district. Only 31% of likely Republican primary voters say they approve of Burrows, compared to 37% who say they disapprove. And 57% say they'd vote for a conservative alternative to him after they learn about his plan to use Democrats to gain the speakership, despite, of course, losing the Republican nomination. Currently, more Democrat lawmakers are supporting Burrows than Republicans, and they've instead rallied around, Republicans have, around Representative David Cook as their nominee. Chad Shoemake, the treasurer of Texans United for a Conservative Majority, said that the average Republican voter is really waking up to the importance of a Republican speaker elected by Republicans. He went on to challenge Dustin Burrows' team to produce a poll showing different numbers, but said they aren't holding their breath.
Ever wonder where the money from the Texas Lottery really goes? Spoiler alert. The lion's share isn't going to education. In fact, the lottery only funds about 2 or 3 days of public education every year. In Season 9 of Exposed, we break down how lawmakers sold the lottery to Texas voters, how the system was stacked against low-income players from day one. From rigged lottery jackpots to corporate scandals, the Texas Lottery's past is full of corruption, a trend that continues today. Tune in to Exposed, Gateway Drug, and uncover the truth about what's really happening behind the scenes.
Exposed, Season 9, available now, wherever you get your podcasts.
A now suspended Houston Methodist urologist, Dr. Nathan Stark, tested positive for cocaine and allegedly performed surgeries while impaired. That's not good. He faces mounting scrutiny as the Texas Medical Board investigates his potential threat to public safety. On January 7th, the Texas Medical Board announced his suspension, which was made official on December 20th. The suspension, implemented without prior notice, temporarily halted his medical practice, citing a potential threat to public safety. During August and September of last year, Dr. Stark reportedly participated in multiple surgeries while appearing impaired. In early September, Houston Methodist suspended Dr. Stark, and around the middle of October, he tested positive for the cocaine use. Separately, in August of last year, a former nurse at Houston Methodist Hospital had her license revoked. She was sentenced to 120 days in jail and 4 years of probation after being caught on video stealing drugs like fentanyl and hydromorphone. Houston Methodist and the TMB all also remained embroiled in a controversy over their handling of Dr. Mary Talley Bowden, a prominent figure in the ongoing debate over COVID-19 treatments. Dr. Bowden treated more than 6,000 COVID-19 patients without a single reported death. However, allegations of unprofessional conduct and violations of the standard of care filed by Houston Methodist and Texas Health Hughley Hospital have led to a legal battle lasting over 2.5 years. For more of today's stories, go to TexasScorecard.com.